Forget New Year, New You. This season is about slowing down, locking the doors, and cozying up at home with the one you really want to do nothing with. Your dog. After the holiday chaos, those quiet nights with a blanket, a podcast, and your pup feel like the reset you actually need. Ollie helps make those moments easier with fresh protein-packed meals made from real human-grade ingredients, so your dog can enjoy some quality comfort food too. Choose from 5 recipes and get a personalized plan for your dog's needs. Meals arrive perfectly proportioned with a scoop and storage container, so serving is fast and mess-free. And with Ollie's in-app on-demand health screenings, supporting your dog is easy, ensuring more cuddles for many years to come. Visit ollie.com/truecrime and use code TRUECRIME for 60% off your first box.
Samira Frasch, 38, of Tallahassee, Florida, died unexpectedly February 22, 2014. She was born December 12, 1975, in Madagascar. Samira was a retired supermodel who had a passion for music, enjoyed singing, and loved to travel across the world. She admired fashion and design and spoke 5 different languages. She is survived by her loving husband of 5 years, Adam Frasch. This is an excerpt from Samira Frasch's obituary. She had 2 children with her husband Adam and 3 stepchildren. Samira's funeral was March 10, 2014. Adam had her cremated after she drowned in the swimming pool at her home in the luxurious Golden Eagle subdivision in Tallahassee, Florida. Adam was not home when her body was discovered at the bottom of the deep end of the pool. The Tallahassee Democrat reported Adam wrote Samira's obituary. The use of loving husband to describe Adam was confusing to those close to the couple. Adam and Samira were in the midst of a divorce at the time of her death. Samira had full custody of their 6-month-old and 2-year-old daughters, and the court had awarded her the Tallahassee home and alimony. Samira didn't know how to swim, and sometimes she'd have to chase the dog around the pool in her flip-flops, Adam told police when they located him at his Panama City beach house with the kids. Her death must have been an accident. But during Samira's autopsy, the medical examiner discovered that her death was not an accident. This is Jillian, and you are listening to Court Junkie, episode 97. Instead of that laundry list of New Year's resolutions you don't end up sticking with, Care of can make taking your vitamins and supporting your health goals actually attainable. Here's how it works. You take a short online quiz and answer some questions about your diet, health goals, and lifestyle, and then Care of will recommend a list of vitamins and supplements specifically for your health needs and goals. I've been getting Care of vitamins for quite a while now, and I would now never get my vitamins any other way. Once you take the quiz and place your order, you get individual daily vitamin packs shipped right to your door. I just love these packs because they're perfect for an on-the-go lifestyle. You just throw it in your purse or gym bag and you're on your way. I know I find the vitamin aisle to be pretty confusing. It's hard to know what you need and where to start. And Care of helps you figure all that out. And you can either follow their recommendations or you can adjust your pack at any time too. So what you receive is totally up to you. And now, for 50% off your first Care of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code JUNKIE50. That's takecareof.com. Enter code JUNKIE50. The holidays are over and it's a brand new year. If you're thinking about the high-interest credit cards you used over the holidays and the bills that will be coming, here's an idea that might ease your mind. The idea is something called Lightstream. Pay off your credit card balances and save with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. You can roll multiple credit card payments into just one payment at a lower fixed rate. Lightstream's credit card consolidation loans have rates as low as 5.95% APR with autopay, much lower than the national average interest rate. The application is so quick and easy. You can actually apply right from your phone. And just for my listeners, if you apply now, you can get a special interest rate discount. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/court. That's LIGHT stream.com/court. Keep in mind this is subject to credit approval. Rate includes 0.50% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/court for more information. Although Dr. Adam Frasch had homes in Panama City Beach and Tallahassee, Florida, he worked as a podiatrist in Thomasville, Georgia. The Frasches were wealthy and lived a flamboyant, extravagant lifestyle filled with flashy cars and home decor, and they often went on exotic vacations. Adam was a car collector and owned close to 100 cars. He also owned several homes and boats. Gerald Gardner Sr., a handyman who worked at the Frasch's Tallahassee home, would later testify that he never saw Samira without her hair and makeup done. She also wore expensive wigs. Samira loved her children, Gerald testified. She dreamed of her eldest daughter becoming a model and frequently entered her in pageants. At one point, Samira hired a videographer team to follow them around, to document, she said, the attention her daughter received in public for her beauty. On YouTube, there are clips of these videos showing Samira, Adam, and their eldest daughter in a stroller walking around Las Vegas and Times Square in New York City with crowds of people gathered around to look at the baby and take photos of her. Those close to Samira said at first she and Adam seemed like the perfect couple, but that didn't last long. After 3 years of marriage, Samira filed for divorce. Although the divorce was not finalized at the time of her death, Samira had already been awarded custody of the kids, the Tallahassee home, her vehicle, alimony, and attorney's fees. When police located Adam in Panama City with the kids the day Samira died, he told police that he and Samira were working on their relationship and that she had given him permission to take the children for the day. But since Samira was dead and no one else could verify his claims that he had been granted permission to have the children, Adam was arrested. He was later released. Shortly after Samira's funeral, however, Adam was arrested again, this time for violating a pretrial release order. Firearms were reportedly found in Adam's office, which violated the order. According to the Tallahassee Democrat, Adam was also under investigation for Medicare fraud. Adam remained in the Leon County Jail for months while investigators worked on the investigation into Samira's death. Adam was quite clearly their number one suspect, and they were working on collecting enough evidence to present to a grand jury to indict him for murder. Adam wrote a letter to the people of Tallahassee and to the Leon County Grand Jury in October 2014. The letter was published online by the Tallahassee Democrat. Quote, "To whom it may concern, I want all of you to know what I have been put through in the last 7 to 8 months, a nightmare that no one should have to endure from our American justice system. I have been held in the Leon County Jail under the false pretext of interfering with a child custody order concerning my 2 precious young children, based upon a divorce proceeding my late wife and I were trying to resolve by reconciliation. This pretext incarceration is being used by the state's attorney to keep me in jail, while his henchmen try to build a case of murder against me for the death of my wife. I cannot begin to tell honest, God-fearing persons the daily horrors of an overcrowded jail with poor food, constant noise, frequent fights, and dozens of mentally ill and drug-addled inmates who are always trying to pick a fight with you over the smallest things. It is a nightmare." Throughout the rest of the letter, Adam argued that there wasn't any evidence he killed Samira, and if no one could even determine her exact time of death, how can they say that he was the one who did it? Adam was right. When Samira Frasch died would be a major issue in his upcoming murder trial. He was indicted for first-degree murder the week after he wrote that letter. Samira was Adam's third wife. According to reports, 39-year-old Adam met 31-year-old Samira in 2006 during Fashion Week in Paris while he was still married to his second wife. Samira and Adam maintained a long-distance relationship, and once his divorce to his second wife was final, Samira and Adam got married in Las Vegas in 2009. When Samira arrived in Tallahassee in 2010 to finally start her life with Adam, she reportedly learned he had cheated on her. Adam had fathered a child with another woman. Samira wanted a divorce, but the two reconciled before the birth of their first daughter in 2011. Court documents reveal that Samira and Adam's relationship was always rocky. In 2013, Samira was arrested on domestic violence charges after Adam said she attacked him with a statue and tried to run him off the road, but the charges were dropped. A month after the incident, Samira filed for divorce. She accused Adam of being abusive, adulterous, and a gambling addict. According to the Tallahassee Democrat, 2 weeks before Samira died, she told police that Adam had run her off the road as they were all driving back from Thomasville. The children were not riding with either of them. One of her assistants who had been following behind confirmed her account, but a friend riding with Adam said it was Samira's fault. Meanwhile, Adam was allegedly dating several women, one of them being an exotic dancer. Samira found out about her after she left a voicemail for Adam. She was reminding him what he owed. Prosecutors believed Samira spent her last day alive driving to all of the properties Adam owned, looking for evidence he was cheating on her. Phone records presented during Adam's trial indicated that Samira was also in contact with the husband of one of Adam's lovers. Prosecutors also said Samira learned of a sex tape Adam made with one of his girlfriends, and she was determined to get a hold of it. They believe when Adam found out that Samira knew about the tape, they got into an argument, and it ended with Adam killing her. According to reports, Samira was afraid of Adam, and so was Samira's divorce attorney, who started carrying a gun for the first time in his career after he met Adam. Samira told several people that Adam had threatened to kill her, but only one person witnessed Adam threaten her, her assistant, Stephen Wilson. This is what Stephen said during Adam's trial, which began on January 23, 2017, nearly 3 years after Samira's murder.
Did you have an opportunity to overhear an argument between Mr. and Mrs. Frasch?
Yes, on the phone.
When was that argument?
A specific date?
How close in time to the time of her death?
About a week and a half.
About a week and a half prior to her death?
Yes.
Do you remember where you were when you overheard that argument?
I was actually in the car.
And you were in the car with Mrs. Frasch?
Yes.
Were the children in the car, if you recall?
I want to say yes. I think they were.
All right. And do you recall what the argument was about?
I don't.
Okay. Can you characterize the argument? Like, was it just a disagreement or was it kind of
I think
a
it
loud
was more of
verbal?
a disagreement.
All right. And were you able to hear what Mr. Frasch was saying or only Mrs. Frasch's side?
Mrs. Frosh's side.
All right. At some point, did she put Mr. Frasch on speakerphone?
She did.
And during the time that Mr. Frasch was on speakerphone, did he make any threats to harm Mrs. Frasch?
He did.
And what did he say?
He said, I will kill you.
He said what?
I will kill you.
And how did you know that was Mr. Frasch on the other end of the line?
She said, you're my husband.
During the argument, she said, you're my husband to the person on the line?
Yes.
But before the jury would hear from Stephen Wilson, they would hear from Gerald Gardner Sr., the handyman. He was the first witness called to the state by the prosecution. He worked as a handyman for the Frasches for 5 years, and he's the one who discovered Samira in the pool when he arrived to finish pressure washing at the Tallahassee house on February 22, 2014. He had his 14-year-old son with him.
911 with the address of the emergency.
Can I get an officer out here in Golden Eagle at 8374 M&S Drive? There's a lady laying in the pool in her backyard in her pool. She's dead.
Gerald testified that Samira typically picked him up for work, but on February 22nd, he found a ride. He said he tried to call Samira several times between 9:30 and 10 in the morning to let her know he didn't need a ride. Samira never answered or returned his call. When he first arrived at the house, Samira's car was not parked in its usual spot.
When you got there that day, what did you observe when you came up? Did you go up to the front door?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, other than that car being parked different, did you notice anything else unusual?
No, ma'am. Besides those other two cars that was there, but nothing else.
And you didn't know those other two cars either? No. Okay, but you knew her car?
Yeah.
It just usually wasn't parked there?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you went up to the front door?
And rung the doorbell 3 times.
All right. Did you knock also?
No, ma'am.
Could you hear the doorbell working?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And did you hear anything inside the house?
No, ma'am.
Did anybody come to the door?
No, ma'am.
What did you do after ringing the doorbell 3 times?
Well, then I walked to the back there to the pool area because I was going to go start my work, and I stepped up there on the top deck of the pool and just looked in the house, and it looked kind of cozy, and came back, stepped back down and looked to my side, me and my son there, and looked, and I seen her shoes in the pool, that was very unusual. I never seen that. And turned maybe 2 steps, and there she was, laying in the pool.
And when you say there she was, who was?
Miss Frasch laying in the pool.
Gerald saw a garden hose partially in the pool and a bottle of bleach sitting on the concrete next to the pool. Samira's dog, Bella, was also running around outside. He said that was unusual as well. Gerald testified he never cleaned the pool, but he did see the pool cleaning service working on it sometimes. He never saw them use bleach, and Gerald never used bleach for any of the work he did inside the Frasch house. The jury viewed photos of the crime scene. In one of the photos, one of Samira's shoes was tangled in the hose next to the pool. Her other shoe was in the water. In another photo, the prosecution pointed out that there's enough dog food in the dog bowl to last several days, if not weeks. As you heard in the 911 call, Gerald was sure by looking at Samira that she was dead.
When you walked into the pool area, you noticed the shoes and then you noticed Mrs. Frasch. Can you describe for the jury the way that her body was positioned in the pool?
Yes, she was laying in the bottom of the pool like this.
So she had her arms kind of up?
Mm-hmm. One arm was up, and the other one was just laying down the side, but it was both like this.
All right, and she was underneath the water?
Yes, ma'am.
How was she dressed?
With a leopard robe, down.
A leopard robe?
Uh-huh.
And was she wearing that, or was it?
It was on her, yes.
She was wearing it. Was she covered up, or was she exposed?
She was covered up.
Okay. And when you say she was laying in the pool, did it appear to you that she was like laying back with her body flat against the bottom of the pool?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And was that in the deep end or the shallow end?
The deep.
In the deep end. Where were the shoes?
Up on the shallow end.
Soon after, Deputy Richard Womble with the Leon County Sheriff's Office arrived.
Can you describe the body that you observed at the bottom of the pool?
Right. It was a female, appeared to be wearing a leopard-looking robe that was tied around here, but it was open.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what about her hair? Could you describe anything about her hair?
Her hair?
Yes, sir.
Her hair, being in the water, it just was up. It was like floating.
So it was loose, not tied back in a ponytail?
It looked like it was loose, and it was kind of floating there.
Did you go in the pool?
No.
Why not?
I didn't feel like I could swim with all this gear on. She was in the deep end of the pool.
EMTs arrived shortly after that. They pulled Samira out of the pool and tried to resuscitate her. One of the EMTs who responded to the scene testified that the pool water was roughly 58 degrees, and with water that cold, Samira had a higher chance of being resuscitated. A crew of EMTs, nurses, and doctors worked for more than 45 minutes to save her life, but it was too late. Samira was declared dead at the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital at 12:19 p.m. The autopsy concluded she died due to blunt force trauma and drowning. Deputies took Adam into custody in Panama City at around 4 p.m. later that day. The first interview Adam had with Bay County Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Chad King was not recorded.
Did he ever ask anything about his wife or her condition or anything like that?
He asked several times. He initially let us know that he had been told that there had been something that happened to his wife at the house, and he had asked several times.
Did you provide him, I guess, initially with information about the condition of his wife or anything like that?
Initially, no, I did not.
And what was the reasoning behind not providing him any information?
Well, I wanted to gather information about him, who he was, obviously for our documentation, and he had started to talk about the condition or the relationship, I guess you might say, between he and his wife. Some things about a gentleman named Jay that that she had that they knew, I guess. And just he was kind of, I guess you might say, almost rambling on about that. And I wanted to let him continue to do that until I felt needed to let him know.
Okay. What information before you started the interview did you have about the condition of Samira Frasch?
Only that she was found deceased in the pool at their house.
Had you received any information about a flip-flop?
Not initially, no.
Any information about a hose?
Not initially, no.
Any information about a dog?
No.
Cleaning solution?
No.
When Lieutenant King told Adam that his wife had been found deceased, he said Adam didn't seem to be very upset.
When you're questioning Mr. Frasch, eventually do you confirm his wife's death?
Right.
What was his reaction to the news?
Crying. He kind of put his hands over his face, was verbally crying, I guess you might say, out loud.
Were you able to observe if there were any actual tears?
None that we saw, no.
Okay, I guess when you removed his hand from his face, did you observe any tears?
None.
Adam then offered up a theory of his own.
Did he offer any explanation about what could have happened to his wife?
Something about the dog maybe trying to catch him. I think he mentioned that they were going to take the dog to get groomed or something, or she had mentioned some of that before they left, and that maybe he was something about trying to get the dog into the kennel or something along those lines to do that. Maybe she had fallen in the pool. He knew she didn't know how to swim.
Adam surmised that maybe he had left the pool hose out more than usual, and that's how she fell in. He also told them that Samira had been drinking heavily the night before.
Did he mention whether or not Ms. Frasch had been drinking the night before?
Yes.
Okay. What did he tell you about that?
He said that she had a couple of bottles of champagne the night before. Or maybe 5 glasses, something along those lines. I think he said that she normally drinks a couple bottles a night. I want to say he mentioned 4 or 5 glasses of champagne.
Adam's second interview with police that day was recorded, and a portion of that 2-hour recording was played for the jury. They also received a transcript. Adam sounds upset in the interview audio as he describes Samira as bipolar and violent. He tells Detective Bill Revell about a time when Samira tried to poke his eyes out while he was driving. Then he starts to walk the detective through what he, Samira, and the girls did the day before. He said they spent the day driving all over Tallahassee, Panama City, and Thomasville, Georgia. Part of the day's tasks included looking for a groomer for the dog, dropping Samira's car off for an oil change and a few repairs, searching for a lost purse, and having lunch in Thomasville. Adam tells the detectives Samira found a bag of lingerie at one of their properties and that she was upset about it. Adam insisted it was for her and not for another woman. Samira, Adam, and the girls didn't return to the Golden Eagle subdivision in Tallahassee until around 11 p.m. that night. That was verified through surveillance footage, which was shown in court. As they approach the gate in their respective vehicles, Adam is behind Samira. Samira stops at the gate. Adam parks, gets out of his vehicle, and walks over to Samira's door. He tries to open it, but Samira slams it shut. Adam then returns to his car, and they all drive through the gate. After putting the girls to bed, Adam says that Samira started drinking champagne. She downs at least 2 bottles, and they have consensual sex in their living room. Before going to bed, Adam says Samira asked him if he could take the girls to Panama City the next day so she could have a break. He agreed. So the next morning, Adam says he woke up, fed Bella, Samira's small dog, cleaned the leaves out of the pool skimmer, loaded the children in the car, and drove to pick up a gas cap for Samira's car before driving to Panama City. Surveillance footage played during the trial shows Adam leaving the Golden Eagle subdivision at around 8 a.m. 2 neighbors who testified recalled hearing and seeing someone outside of the Frasch home at around 7 a.m. Investigators also discovered that Adam and the girls stopped at the bank, where Adam withdrew $5,000. Phone records presented during the trial indicate that Adam called Samira multiple times that day, but his friend and the mother of one of his children, Martha Moore, was who he called first. The prosecution theorized that Adam was going to drop the kids off at Martha's before making a getaway, but Martha was on her way to West Palm Beach to celebrate her birthday. When Martha testified, she told the jury about a phone call she had with Adam 2 days before Samira's death. She said Adam was upset over his relationship with Samira, and she was afraid he was suicidal. Martha also knew Samira was looking to purchase a sex tape featuring Adam from one of his lovers. Adam said when he called Samira, it was to check on her, but Samira never answered the phone. That statement was verified through the voicemails he left. Later that afternoon, Adam's good friend, Kendall Lindsay, called Adam to tell him about Samira's death. Here's what Kendall told the jury about that conversation.
What specifically did you tell him?
They said that Samira was drowned at the bottom of the pool. And he was like, what? And I imagine he had his daughter in his hands because he said, I heard her say, Dad, why are you crying? And he was just asking me, are you serious? What are you saying? What are you saying?
All right, so specifically you told him his wife was dead and she had been pulled out of the pool. Did you say what pool?
I just said that she was in the bottom of the pool. At that point, I don't remember saying she was pulled out at all.
Did you give him any other details about her death?
That's all I knew.
That she had been found at the bottom of the pool?
Maybe not in those words, but somewhat.
Adam called Samira again and left another voicemail after he got off the phone with Kendall. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. That is what NetSuite by Oracle has set out to solve. Because most companies don't have a clear picture of their finances, and that's why many businesses fail. The question for any business owner out there is, are you confident that you've got the right numbers at your fingertips? Much like how you wouldn't fly an airplane blind, can you even imagine? You shouldn't be oblivious about your business either. Serious entrepreneurs and finance teams run on NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite offers a full picture of all of your finances all in one place, in real time, right from your phone or your desktop. No more guessing, no more worry that what you don't know could kill your company. That's why NetSuite customers grow 3 times faster than the S&P 500, and you can too. Schedule your free demo right now and receive their free guide, 7 Key Strategies to Grow Your Profits, at netsuite.com/court. Set up your free demo and get your free guide today at netsuite.com/court. That's netsuite.com/court. It's January 2020. The year 2020 shows up a lot in science fiction. A lot of people predicted that by now we'd be teleporting to work, riding around in flying cars, or even living on Mars. Those predictions were obviously way off. And the truth is, we'll always get the future wrong, which is why we need to get life insurance right. And that's where Policygenius can help. Policygenius makes finding the right life insurance a breeze. In just minutes, you can compare quotes from the top insurers to find your best price. And you could save $1,500 or more a year by using Policygenius to compare life insurance policies. Once you apply, the Policygenius team will handle all the paperwork and red tape so you don't have to. They can also help you find the right home and auto insurance, or disability insurance too. So if your science fiction dreams for 2020 still haven't become science fact, don't get discouraged. Get life insurance. It takes just a few minutes to find your best price and apply at policygenius.com. Policygenius. We'll always get the future wrong. Better get life insurance right. In some parts of Adam's recorded interview, which was played for the jury, it sounds like he's crying. But Detective Ravel pointed out to him that he didn't see any tears.
Let me tell you something. I've been doing this for 20 years. Right. Okay? I've interviewed I don't know how many people. Right. This is not new. Okay? You done sat up here and broke down in your own way of crying. I don't know how many times, and not one tear has dropped out of your eye yet.
But I'm already teared out for 6 hours here, sir. I mean, if you know how much I love this woman,
there's no doubt you will not hear me dispute that. There's no doubt. I have no doubt that you didn't love her. But you know as well as I do that love brings about some crazy, impulsive reactions sometimes. Love will make a person do some crazy things.
In case that was hard to hear, Adam tells him that he's all cried out, that he has no idea how much he loved that woman. Detective Ravel said he doesn't doubt that he loves her, but that sometimes love can make a person do some crazy things. Detective Ravel then asks Adam what he thinks happened to Samira.
I don't know. I'm worried that she may have tripped on the water hose that was out there, or the poop or something. They're trying to chase Bella around the pool and fell in.
Adam tells him that he's worried she may have tripped and fallen in, and he again mentions the pool hose. He tells the detective that Samira had a fear of the water, and that's why he was surprised to hear she had drowned in the pool. But she had been in the shallow end of the pool before, he said. Throughout the interview, Adam swears he and Samira were getting along and did not have an argument the night before she was found dead. Adam also says Samira was not awake when he left with the girls in the morning. Detective Ravel then confronts Adam about his story.
That's not what happened. Me and you both know she wasn't chasing the dog around the pool.
I don't know what happened.
We know you've been through a lot. Okay? You have been through a lot. Even the best person in the world has a limit. Okay? I don't care how nice you are. I don't care what great of a guy you are, how much money you have. I don't care about any of that. The best person in the world has a limit. Okay? And when they reach that limit, they do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do or wouldn't even think of doing. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that.
And I think you reached that limit.
It's not true.
That's not true, Adam says. He continuously asks if he can see her body and suggests that Gerald may have done something to her. He doesn't know.
Understand that when we come and talk to you, and I'm sure you already know this,
We're not going to tell you everything we know. I understand. That's what the best sense of this. I can see the body or see what may have happened, or there's whatever. Gerald did something, or they got an altercation, or I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know. You saw the body. Why are you asking to see the body? I never saw the body. I wanted to see the body. And see what may have happened to her, what's going on. I know her body like the back of my hand. So it would, maybe helpful to find out what had happened or who may have done something or whatever.
Adam says he knows her body like the back of his hand, and that seeing her body might be helpful in figuring out what happened. Detective Ravel then asks Adam about a scratch on his face under his eye. Adam says their 10-month-old scratched him. If you recall, Adam said Samira drank at least 2 bottles of champagne the night before she died, and that she was still drinking at around 4 a.m. Dr. Lisa Flanagan, the medical examiner who conducted Samira's autopsy, testified about the toxicology results.
The toxicology screen, it came back negative other than an antibiotic that was in her system at trace level. Other than that, no drugs or alcohol were detected.
No alcohol at all?
None.
Even in the urine and or the vitreous?
All 3 of those were tested, the blood, urine, and vitreous, and there was no alcohol detected in any of those specimens.
What's the significance of there not being alcohol present in the urine versus the urine or the vitreous versus the blood?
Well, when someone consumes alcohol, they drink it, it goes in the stomach, and then it's absorbed into the blood. So that's the first place that it'll show up, would be in the blood. Then as the body metabolizes it and it moves around, it will start moving into the vitreous, so that will lag behind. So it'll be higher in the blood first, and then it'll be a little while later where it will go up into the vitreous. The body's trying to excrete it, so then once it's excreted through the kidneys, then it will show up in the urine. So the blood would show the levels first, but even when it is metabolized in the blood, we can still see it in the vitreous or urine for a period of time.
Are you familiar with the defendant's statements regarding his wife's alcohol consumption on the hours leading up to her death?
I understand it was said that she had consumed quite a bit of alcohol.
Right, and is that consistent or inconsistent with the toxicology findings in this case?
I don't see any evidence of the alcohol.
Okay, so his statements would be inconsistent?
Either she was not drinking it or she had metabolized it.
And in your opinion, could she have metabolized that quantity of alcohol between the time that he says she consumed it and the time of her death?
I'm not sure what time he said that she consumed it.
Starting at midnight and drinking up to 2 bottles of champagne at least through 4 a.m.?
If she drank that much, I would expect to see it, at least in the vitreous or the urine.
As for injuries, Dr. Flanagan said there was some evidence Samira had drowned, but she also had severe head injuries. In her report, Dr. Flanagan noted bruising and significant swelling on the right side of her face and forehead. On the left side of Samira's head, Dr. Flanagan found more swelling and a fracture that caused a brain hemorrhage.
What type of force would it take to cause a fracture like this one in the skull?
It would take a significant amount of force, such as striking the hard ground, the flooring, tile floor, the deck, to strike, the head struck something very hard to cause it to actually fracture.
What about the question of whether Samira could have injured her head when she fell into the pool?
Do you have an opinion as to whether she could have tripped and bumped her head and fallen into the pool?
I don't think that's what happened.
Why not?
First of all, these injuries are not going to occur with her hitting the water in the pool. She hit a hard surface. These are not injuries that are just incidental injuries like, I bumped my head on the counter or the cabinet or I fell and hit something. There's a lot of energy and force behind these impacts to cause this amount of damage, bleeding and fracture and contusions of the brain itself. So these are significant impacts that I don't think she would generate herself by just falling.
Can you imagine a scenario where she would have hit both sides of her head and then managed to get into the pool?
I can't, no.
As for the time of Samira's death, that was difficult for Dr. Flanagan to determine, but she estimated Samira died 1 to 8 hours before her body was found in the pool. Since Samira was in cold water at the time of her death, her body did not start showing signs of decomposition at a normal rate. Her body was not stiff or in rigor mortis when paramedics pulled her out of the pool, and other early signs of decomposition were not noticed until she had been at the hospital for at least an hour.
There's no way of saying the exact time of death, or I should say when she's placed in the pool. Once she's placed in the pool, she's not going to live very long. So it's basically looking back to see how long she was in the pool. And there's no way to put a specific timeline on it. Then within a few hours is basically all I can say. The rigor mortis, it could be a short period of time. It could be up to several hours. There's just no way that that's going to be specifically useful. The livor mortis, the settling of blood, that can occur quickly. And in her case, the paramedics did not mention it, but again, I don't think they were looking for that on her back. It would be a subtle finding, and they very well may not notice that. They did notice it in the emergency room, which was only a little over an hour once she was pulled out of the water. So she did have some livor mortis, which errors, again, could be relatively short, but also could be a few hours to several hours. The temperature of her body is another thing that we look at. Her body obviously was very cold. In the emergency room, they could not register a rectal temperature, and that was after she'd been taken out of the water, dried off, and transported there, and for them trying to resuscitate her. So her body, her core temperature was very cold. Again, there's no way to say how long. Based on that, that could also go up to several hours. So the bottom line is that there's no way to put a specific time of death. It could be, an hour or so. It could be 3, 4, 5 hours. There's just no way to say.
She reiterated that cold water slows down the decomposition process.
It's just not an exact science. It depends on the body, and once a body's placed in cold water, then it kind of changes all the things that we look at.
It's because it slows down all the natural processes that indicate the passage of time.
That's correct.
DNA testing was also conducted on Samira. Adam's DNA was found underneath her fingernails. Adam said his DNA was there because Samira scratched his back while they were having sex the night before. For a while, investigators were unsure what could have caused Samira's head injuries. Adam's cellmate of nearly 6 months, Dale Folsom, testified that Adam told him what happened to Samira.
Just about how she started a fight that night and kicked him in the back when he's in the bed because of something she found on the laptop or that morning. And he defended himself pretty much, he thought. And they were fighting, and he hit her, and she fell and hit her head, or he hit her in the head with a club, and he tried to, make it look like a murder, I guess, by somebody else, and threw her in a tub, and then took off to Panama City with the kids.
All right, so let's back up a little bit. He said that his wife kicked him in the back while he was sleeping in the bed?
Yeah, I started a fight with him because of something she saw on the computer.
She found. And did he elaborate about what she found?
He didn't, no, ma'am.
Okay. And they got into a physical fight?
Yes, ma'am.
And he said, what happened? He hit her in the head?
With a club, golf club.
And what happened after he hit her in the head with the golf club?
She fell, and then he said he checked on her a little bit later, and realized what had happened and said he didn't mean to kill her. He was upset when he told me, but he said he didn't mean to kill her. It just happened, and he got scared and ran. So threw her in the pool and then ran.
Why did he throw her in the pool, if you know?
I imagine he did it out of instinct, but probably, to cover up the... I guess when you do commit a crime like that, you want to try to cover your tracks. So.
Okay. But did he tell you that?
Ma'am? No.
Did he tell you specifically
why? No, he didn't
why?
say that he tried to cover his tracks.
Just that he got scared and threw her in the pool.
Yeah.
Dale also said that Adam told him he took the kids to Panama City in hopes that his new boat would be fixed so he could leave, but that the boat's repairs were not finished. According to Dale, Adam needed someone to go to the Tallahassee house to find the golf club and dispose of it before investigators figured out that a golf club was used in Samira's death. Dale was going to be released from jail before Adam, so Adam said he would give Dale a call when he wanted him to go get the club, but Adam never called. During cross-examination, Dale's credibility as a witness was called into question, due to him having 40 felony convictions for writing bad checks. He also had a history of drug abuse problems. In exchange for him being released from custody early for another charge not related to the bad checks, Dale shared his story with investigators, which then led them to find several golf clubs at the Tallahassee home nearly a year after their initial search of the home following Samira's death. Here's what Dr. Flanagan had to say about the golf club theory.
I don't think so. The pattern that she had was more diffuse, and a golf club with the force would be in one area, and I would expect to see either a laceration of the skin or a depressed skull fracture in that area. So, in my opinion, I can't say that it was caused by the golf club.
Okay. Can you say that it definitely was not?
I can't absolutely exclude it totally, but I don't see any features that suggest that it was a golf club.
Okay. And in your opinion, are the injuries more consistent with a fist than a golf club being the instrument used to inflict them?
Yes.
The prosecution rested their case on day 3 of the trial. Adam chose not to testify, but his defense team called 3 witnesses to the stand. The first was Adam's personal assistant and babysitter, who sort of served as a character witness for him. The second was a neighbor who swore he saw a slender black woman on the driveway of Samira's house at about 10:30 a.m., just about 30 minutes before she was found dead. And finally, Dr. Jonathan Arden, a forensic pathologist. Dr. Arden agreed with most of Dr. Flanagan's autopsy report, including that Samira's injuries were caused by blunt force. As for the object used to cause those injuries, Dr. Arden could not say for certain if a fist or golf club were the cause, but he said it was possible. He also said it was possible Samira's injuries could have been caused by a fall, which contradicted Dr. Flanagan's testimony. As for how long Samira had been dead, Dr. Arden gave a more precise response than Dr. Flanagan.
If I had to pin you down, and in your opinion, knowing that the body was actually discovered at 11 o'clock, would you say Mrs. Frasch died before or after 8 a.m.?
I would say that the greatest probability is that she died after 8 a.m.
One key element Dr. Arden used to make his determination was the pruning or wrinkling of Samira's skin from being submerged in the water. He said it's a common phenomenon that occurs relatively early after immersion. With Samira, he estimated she was immersed for a fairly short period of time. But his opinion on whether or not it can indicate a time of death differed from Dr. Flanagan's.
There's no way to know, but as far as the pruning, there's just nothing consistent to say it's a specific time of death. But yes, oftentimes we will see it quite striking, but it's when the body's in a moist environment. Even if there's pooled blood under a body and their hands happen to be sitting in that blood all night, we can start seeing a little bit of pruning as well.
Right.
So
the gist of this question is, does there have to be blood circulation for pruning to occur? And you would indicate no.
No, it can occur after death.
After Dr. Arden's testimony, the defense rested its case. Closing arguments began on day 4. The prosecution went first, reminding the jury of all the facts of the case.
The evidence in this case has shown that Samira Frasch was brutally beaten and then callously tossed into the pool where she met her death. The case has seemed to boil down to whodunit. Was this the defendant that committed this callous act, or was it some unknown killer? And I would submit to you that everything about this crime tells you that this was a very personal crime. Domestic violence is always about power and control. And the defense has told you that in the days leading up to Samira Frasch's murder, they were reconciling. Things were going well. But the evidence has shown the complete opposite. As Martha put it, the defendant and Samira Frasch had been in a battle. And it appeared that at the time of Mrs. Frasch's death, she was winning.
Adam's defense team used closing arguments to remind the jury that Dale Folsom, Adam's cellmate, was not a credible witness. They also pointed out all the areas in which the jury could find reasonable doubt.
What you have is an awful lot of circumstantial evidence and speculation by the prosecutor as to what went on during the day and the days before the death of Mrs. Frasch. Hard evidence that we suggest to you clearly leaves reasonable doubt after reasonable doubt after reasonable doubt in this case is multiple.
It only took the jury a few hours to reach a verdict. Adam, wearing a blue suit and yellow tie, listened intently as the verdict was read.
State of Florida versus Adam Frasch. We, the jury, find as follows. As the indictment, the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. So say we all this 26th day of January 2017.
Adam hung his head as the verdict was read. Since there's only one sentence a judge is allowed to give for a conviction of first-degree murder in Florida, life in prison, Adam was sentenced after the verdict was read. Within months of being sentenced to life in prison, Adam appeared on Dateline, where he continued to claim his innocence. "I would never harm my wife," he told Dateline reporter Keith Morrison. Adam also did an interview with True Crime Daily, which published on YouTube in May 2017. In that interview, Adam denies arguing with Samira the night before she died. He also denies being unfaithful to her. He does admit he dated several women, however, while they were going through a divorce. Adam also says it wasn't unusual for him to take the girls for a day to give Samira a mommy's day off. In the midst of all the TV interviews, Adam also filed an appeal. According to the Tallahassee Democrat, the First District Court of Appeals in North Florida denied Adam's request for a new trial in September 2019. And that's all for this episode. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts on this case. Do you believe Adam was railroaded by the police, or do you think he is guilty of murdering his wife? Let me know by joining the conversation on Instagram @CourtJunkie, by tweeting me @CourtJunkiePod, or by emailing me at podcast@courtjunkie.com. This episode was researched and written by Jordan Hensley. And finally, this episode was also brought to you by The RealReal. The RealReal is the leading reseller for authenticated luxury consignment. Sell your men's and women's luxury fashion, fine jewelry, watches, art, and home, and earn more. The RealReal makes it easy to sell your items with 3 options. First, experience their free white glove in-home consignment consultation and pickup by one of their luxury managers. Or come visit one of their brick-and-mortar locations for in-store drop-off, where you can meet the expert in person and go through the authentication process one-on-one. And finally, for those of you who want to contribute to the circular economy through consignment but don't have enough time in the day, they'll send you everything you need for a free, safe, and sustainable shipping process. So think sustainably, consign with the RealReal today and earn up to 85% commission plus site credit. Authentic, sustainable luxury, only at therealreal.com. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.